It started as a fun sleepover. Just me, Sarah, and Jenny. We spread our sleeping bags out in Sarah's room, surrounded by pillows and a mountain of snacks, ready for a night filled with gossip and horror movies. But as the night wore on, something started to feel off. Around midnight, I wanted to play a game, but Sarah was adamant about telling scary stories instead. I figured it was just part of the fun, so I went along with it. That's when Sarah brought up the whispers.
I swear I heard someone call my name last week.
She said, eyes darting to the dark corners of the room.
I thought it was just my imagination.
Jenny laughed, but I caught a flicker of concern in her eyes. You're just being paranoid, I said, trying to lighten the mood. But as we settled into the stories, the atmosphere changed. The shadows seemed heavier. The air felt denser. After a few rounds of chilling tales, we turned off the lights. Our phones cast an eerie glow on our faces, only adding to the unsettling vibe. That's when I heard it. A soft whisper, barely audible yet unmistakable.
Help me.
I froze. Did you guys hear that? I asked, my voice trembling.
What?
Jenny asked, instantly serious. Something whispered? Sarah frowned.
You're just trying to scare us.
No, I'm not, I insisted. I really heard it. Silence enveloped us, tension crackling in the air. Moments later, we heard it again, clearer this time. Help me. It seemed to come from just outside the window. Sarah jumped up.
I'll check it out.
No, wait! I called after her, but she was already at the window, peering into the darkness. She turned back, eyes wide.
There's nothing there.
But it's so dark outside, I said. We huddled together, whispering nervously. Then, in the quiet, it happened again.
Help me.
This time more urgent. My heart raced. What if it's someone in trouble? Jenny shook her head.
It's just a prank. Someone's messing with us.
But then I remembered. Sarah lived near the woods. What if someone really needs help? I whispered. Just then, Sarah's phone buzzed. She glanced at it, her face turning pale.
It's my mom. She says stay inside and lock the doors.
We exchanged glances. We weren't alone. We're at Jenna's sleepover, lounging around on the floor amidst a sea of snacks and pillow forts. It was supposed to be one of those carefree nights filled with movies and endless girl talk. But then, just as the clock struck midnight, my phone buzzed. An unknown number flashed on the screen. Who calls at this hour? I muttered, glancing at Jenna. She just shrugged, her eyes glued to the TV. Driven by curiosity, I picked up. Hello? I said.
Emily.
The voice was low, familiar yet off. Who's this? I asked, my heart skipping a beat. The voice chuckled, sending a chill down my spine.
You remember our little secrets, don't you?
My pulse quickened. Secrets? I glanced at Jenna and the others, all blissfully unaware of my rising panic. Is this some kind of joke? I forced out, trying to steady my voice.
No joke, just a reminder.
The voice continued, recounting private moments only my friends and I knew. A cold sweat broke out. How did they know all this? Stop it. Who are you? I demanded, the fear evident in my voice.
Just someone who likes to watch.
And then silence. I stared at my phone, my heart pounding. What just happened? Guys, I think someone's messing with me, I said, my voice trembling. They turned to me, suddenly alert. Jenna looked concerned. What do you mean? I told them about the call, their faces shifting from disbelief to concern. You're just scaring yourself, Jenna tried to reassure me. It's probably just a prank. But as the night dragged on, that eerie feeling of being watched lingered. We tried distracting ourselves with movies, but every creak and whisper made me jump. Eventually, I decided to check the locks. Stepping into the hallway, I noticed something. The window was slightly ajar. Didn't we close that earlier? I shut it, heart racing. That's when I saw it. A shadow moving across the yard. I rushed back. We need to lock the doors. Now. We secured everything, huddling together, whispering in the dark. Then, my phone buzzed again. The same unknown number. I looked at my friends, their faces pale with fear. This night had taken a turn none of us would forget. We had the usual plan. Scary stories, popcorn, and movies. After a few rounds of truth or dare, someone threw out the idea to switch off the lights and tell our creepiest tales. It sounded fun to me, so we dove right in. Once the story started, the vibe totally changed. There was this chill that settled in, creeping over us like a ghostly blanket. Lisa kicked things off with a tale about a haunted house nearby. She painted the picture so vividly, with creaking floors and ghostly whispers, that it sent shivers down my body. By the end, we were all clutching our blankets, our hearts pounding in our chests. Then it was my turn. I told a story I'd heard about a girl who vanished from her own sleepover, leaving only a single shoe behind. The room fell silent.
That's not real, is it?
Jenna asked, her eyes wide with fear. I tried to play it cool with a shrug, but my voice gave me away with a slight tremble. We moved on to a movie, thinking it'd lighten the mood. But the eerie feeling wouldn't leave me alone. Those shadows seemed just out of sight, and I kept hearing strange creaks from the hallway. I convinced myself it was my imagination playing tricks. But then, the lights flickered.
Did you see that?
Lisa yelped. Maybe just a power surge, I suggested, though my stomach turned with unease. The flickering stopped, but then a sound, almost like a whisper, drifted from outside. Did anyone else hear that? I asked, trying to gauge the room. Everyone shook their heads, but I couldn't shake that knot in my stomach. Suddenly, Jenna, who was sitting closest to the window, gasped.
There's someone out there.
She cried.
What? Where?
Lisa demanded, jumping up. I leaned over to look, but all I saw was darkness.
Right there.
Jenna insisted, pointing.
I swear I saw something.
My heart raced as fear tightened its grip. It's probably just a prank, I said, trying to sound brave, but deep down, dread was taking hold. We decided to stick together and investigate, creeping toward the door. Lisa reached for the handle, and when she opened it, a gust of cold air rushed in. Heart pounding, we stepped outside, tension pressing down on us like a weight. Then we heard it. A laugh, low and unsettling. We turned to see a shadowy figure darting into the darkness. Panic surged through me. Get inside now, I shouted. We bolted back, slamming the door behind us. We huddled together, the whispers from outside echoing in our minds. It was a typical Friday night at Emma's sleepover. The room buzzed with laughter and the soft glow of our phones as we shared our favorite memes. We settled down for a movie, but as the opening credits rolled, something outside Emma's window caught my eye. Two eyes staring right at us. I nudged Jenna beside me. Do you see that? I whispered, trying not to startle the others. Jenna followed my gaze and her face went pale. What the heck is that? Emma was still engrossed in the movie.
What's up?
She asked. Just something outside, I said, trying to sound casual. But as I kept watching, the eyes disappeared into the darkness. We took a break to grab snacks, but I couldn't get the image of the eyes out of my head. I glanced back at the window, bracing myself to see those eyes again. Nothing. Still, the unease lingered.
Hey, let's play a game.
Emma suggested, and we all agreed, hoping to shake off the eerie feeling. We started a game of Would You Rather. Laughter filled the room, but that prickling awareness wouldn't leave me alone. Then, just as Emma asked a particularly wild question, the power flickered. The lights dimmed and returned, but my heart was racing. Did anyone else see that? I asked, scanning their faces. They nodded, but Emma dismissed it.
Just a glitch. Relax.
We resumed our game, but I glimpsed more movement outside. My adrenaline spiked. Guys, I really think someone's out there, I insisted. They exchanged doubtful looks, Jenna rolling her eyes.
You're being dramatic.
She said. But then a loud thump echoed from the window. I jumped, heart pounding. That wasn't just me, right? Emma reluctantly stood up.
Fine, I'll check.
She pulled back the curtain and her face went white.
There's someone right there.
We rushed over, but the figure had vanished.